and then you're going to find 5.4% sales tax. So you got to find out what 5.4% is of 483 first before you find your tax. And so we're going to change that 5.4% into a decimal. Okay, so move it twice to the left. 1, 2. If we have a gap, we're going to put a 0. And so it's going to be times 0.054, because that's what I got. All right, and moved in front of the 0. Okay, if I do that, I will get 26.082. Okay, and so with tax, that's going to be added onto your amount. So now that we found what the percentage is, we're going to add this to our amount that we start off with here. So it's going to be 483 plus your 26.082, which is your 5.4% sales tax. Okay, if I add that, I'm going to get 509.082. And again, since we're talking about money, we can only have two numbers behind our decimal, so we're rounding to the nearest hundredth, which is your 8. Well, the 2 is not big enough to change this into a 9, so the 8 is going to stay the same. So your answer is going to be, and I'll write it right here, $509.08. Okay, and that's for this question. All right. Number 10 says that Mrs. Donahue decides to stop by the world premiere food court to buy some food for her and her family. She buys herself a roasted turkey dinner for $13.99, her husband chicken parmesan pasta for $11.99, her daughter a cheeseburger meal for $8.25, and her son a macaroni and cheese meal for $6.49. If the tax on her food is 7.35%, what will be the total amount that Mrs. Donahue spends on food? Okay, so the first thing you have to do is find out the total that she spent on her food. So you're going to add all of these prices together. Okay, so you're going to add $13.99. That was for her meal, plus her husband's meal, which is $11.99, plus her daughter's meal, which was $8.25, plus her son's meal, which was $6.49. Okay, so you got to find a total cost for that, which is going to be $40.72. Okay, but you're not done. What you got to do now is find the tax. And so you're going to take this total, $40.72, and multiply it by the decimal for this percent. So same thing, come to the side, move the decimal twice to the left. Well, it's right here. It starts here then, if I see it. So it starts here, and it goes twice to the left. If I have a gap, I put a 0. So I'm going to be multiplying by 0.0735. Okay, if I do that, I will get 2.99292. Okay, and since that is a tax, that means I'm going to add that to my original price. Okay, so it's going to be $40.72 plus what I just got, which is 2.99292. And I will get 43.71292. If we're talking about money, we're rounding to the nearest hundredth, which is the second number behind the decimal. You look behind it, the 2 is not big enough to change that 1 into a 2, so the 1's going to stay the same. So the answer is going to be $43.71. Okay. All right, number 11 says that Candace makes $35,000 a year while her husband makes $62,000 per year. How much more will Candace's husband make than Candace over 10 years? Okay, so how much more means eventually we're going to subtract. We want to know what she makes in 10 years and what he makes in 10 years. So what we're going to do to both of these numbers is multiply them by 10 separately. So I'm going to do 35,000 times 10 to see what she makes over 10 years. If I do that, I'll get 350,000. Then I'm going to do Candace's husband. So 62,000 times 10. And I will get 620,000. And then how much more will he make than her? So I'm going to subtract those two numbers. So 620,000 minus 350,000 is going to give us our answer, which is 270,000 more for her husband. Okay. Number 12, the table below shows the average annual salary for 3 occupations, okay, or jobs. Based on the information, how much more will the accountant earn than the paralegal over a 25-year career? So kind of like the one before, we're going to multiply our numbers by 25 because we want to know what it is in 25 years. So they want to know about the accountant and the paralegal only. Okay, so the accountant and the paralegal, they're not worried about the doctor. So we're going to take the accountant, which is 68,150, multiply it by 25 because it's for 25 years. If I do that, I will get 1,703,750. And now I'm going to do the paralegal. So the paralegal is 49,500. Multiply it by the same amount, which is for 25 years, so 25. And I will get 1,237,500. Okay? So I want to know how much more does the accountant earn over 25 years than the paralegal. So I'm going to subtract. That's what how much more means. Okay? So okay, if I do that, I will get my answer, which is 466,250 more dollars for the accountant.